Hello everyone and thank you for coming back to my YouTube channel. This is a channel that I have created for the people who want to travel to Colombia and who want the best tips and tricks in how to get around and also in Latin America. This channel's name is Ray Condor, and if you haven't done yet, please like and subscribe so that way you can get the most up-to-date information as soon as I push the videos out. In today's subject, we are going to be discussing how to get around transportation, and especially public transportation. I have seen YouTubers who travel throughout of Colombia and they have given the wrong advice to foreigners because they're also first-timers. I want to talk about taxis. I have seen people give an advice never to use taxis because they have something called Paseo Millonario. Paseo Millonario is basically a term which means in English millionaire's trip, in which you are tricked to go into a taxi and they take you and they rob you because about 5 people will get in when the taxi stops because usually they have friends around the corner. So people are usually giving advice online to say don't do that, use Uber instead, and they say it is much safer. I would say that is far from the truth. And I know exactly what you're saying, but Ray, I have seen these stories on Facebook, these expat groups that people have been robbed. I have gone on Reddit and I have seen these horror stories. I've even been on TikTok and sometimes even on YouTube. Who should I listen to? What happens is that in Colombia you have 2 types of taxi services. You have your private sector and you have your public sector. What happens is with the private taxis, some of them are a one-man operation. They are only bought by one person, they have one vehicle, they don't belong to a legitimate company, they are not regulated, so they can pretty much drive around however they feel like. But the public taxi services are actually regulated within a company, and this company answers to the local government. They are actually well regulated, and actually they are very safe to drive around in, more than Uber at times. So how do I know the difference between these two? Well, number one, when you see these taxis driving around, you will actually find the license plate is actually on the side of the car, on the back, and even on the top. Well, actually, most of the private taxis don't actually have it on the side. And when you see these forms, they'll actually tell you, don't hail a taxi cab on the street, especially if it's late at night. So what are you supposed to do? Well, if you're staying in a hotel, usually the hotels will have access the phone number of these legitimate taxi cab companies, and they will call them up because they actually have a dispatch. The dispatcher will actually send the person to your location, and it's actually very safe, very well regulated. If you're not staying in a hotel, you can stay in an Airbnb. Usually the owner of the Airbnb will have access to this. And if you can't, you can actually search online, ask around, or even look in the local phone book. Let me give you a little bit of anecdotal evidence. When I went to the city of Manizales, I had traveled there by myself. I went by bus because the airplane fare was too much. Not many planes go there, and it's actually on the top of mountains, so it was expensive at the time of the year. When I arrived, I actually got out and I took one legitimate taxi cab because, like I said, I looked at the side. It had the license plate on the side, license plate on the back, and the license plate at the top. I actually made good friends with the guy, and he gave me his phone number and everything. So he drove me down to the Airbnb. When I arrived to the Airbnb, I actually got out because of my excitement, and guess what? I had left my wallet. And fortunately for me, the owner of the Airbnb had come to greet me. As soon as after seeing me, within 2 minutes, I realized my wallet was gone. She was very nice enough to contact a couple of friends. She managed to get the phone number of the local taxi company for the city, and she had contacted the company. The company contacted the dispatcher contacted the driver. Now, the driver of the taxi actually left their shift because what they'll do is they'll share a specific vehicle, and they will switch drivers. So he told the other driver, say, hey, this guy left his wallet. He gave him the exact address. The other driver came to me, gave me my wallet. Didn't receive a penny from me. Didn't want a tip or anything like that. And that was like one of the best experiences that I had so far. One last thing, if anybody goes to the city of Manizales and they take a taxi on Uber, please ask around to see if you see a driver called Alejandro. He was the taxi driver that gave me my wallet. I made good friends with him. Unfortunately, I lost his phone number. You can refer to my channel, Ray Condor, on TikTok or on YouTube. Thank you very much. This is a good example to show the world that, hey, Colombia may not what it seems to be online, because if you go online and you read through the Reddits and read through the forums, you'll see people talking about taxi drivers like they're out to get you, like they're about to steal you, like they're a bunch of scammers, which is not the case. Now, I'm not trying to push people away from Uber because I have friends who do Uber in Colombia and I wanted to make just as much money. But believe it or not, the best and safest way to travel through Colombia are through legitimate taxi services. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not telling people to lower down their guard because there's an old saying in Colombia, which you hear time and time again. No dar papaya. No dar papaya, literally it means don't give papaya. So what does it mean? It means don't make yourself a victim. Don't put your guard down. Don't be an easy target. That's what it is. You know, most people in Colombia are very nice. We're very friendly, very polite, and we actually don't like thieves and people who are trying to steal from you. Thanks for watching my video. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this in the future. Once again, this is Ray Condor signing out for you.